What up, YouTube, friends on Google+. Welcome back to Strategic Social Networking. I'm Daniel, and the topic of today's video is the harsh reality of the overnight success story. Okay, for starters, just like many others, back several years ago, I lost my job. I could not find any work. I'm college educated. I have technical certifications. I had a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge to offer to employers. And in the light of this massive global economic decline that we're facing today, that's been spanning for over a decade, I too turned to the web in hopes of finding a way to make a living online. And you know what? The harsh reality is that there is no fast buck on the web. That's what I learned from my experience, 4 years of building a now massive media organization that spans across all kinds of social networks. I have an information technology website, etc. And it's not as cut and dry as going and creating a blog or throwing affiliate ads all over your website or creating an eBay store, okay? You're not just going to make a living overnight or build an audience overnight for that matter. Okay, for starters, the purpose of this video is to help you make better educated decisions of what I did and help avoid the mistakes that I made so that you can make a better educated guess as to what where you should be focusing your attention, as far as trying to make a living online. All right, it's still possible to make money on the web, and I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of potential roadblocks today that content creators and those with the business-minded individuals of a decade ago did not face with trying to find success on the web. There's a lot of potential roadblocks. For one, the economical conditions have really changed a lot, and that has a lot to do with why it's so difficult to make money on the internet today. Okay, for starters, there's two things that killed my business and my hopes and my dreams on the web. Okay, one of them is fear, and the other was unrealistic expectations. Okay, the unrealistic expectations were actually a result of my own ignorance. And let's face it, okay, we're all only human. We can't know everything. We don't know everything. It's like my car. If my car was to break down, I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything other than what the mechanic tells me. So I have to take his word for it, right? I get my car towed. If it breaks down, I get towed to the shop, and he tells me, yeah, this is what's wrong. This is what we have to do to fix it. Well, you can't know everything, okay? And building a business, online is a matter of learning the ropes, just like anything else, learning how blogging works, how the internet works, how search engines work, so that way you have realistic expectations about, what it takes to make a living on the web. All right. So let's start with the unrealistic expectations. Okay. For one, where do they come from? Well, there's all these misconceptions, these false assumptions, and lies that traverse the web. Okay, you see these headlines like, how I made $1 million a year as an affiliate marketer, how I went from 0 to 45,000 visitors a month overnight. I mean, don't believe these stories. Okay, they're crap. It's clickbait. That's what it's called. It's clickbait. They're trying to get you to click on their link so that you'll buy a product or service. You'll click their affiliate links and buy something, okay? And affiliate ads suck, and I'll get into that later. But for right this minute, a lot of unrealistic expectations, okay? For one, running a blog today and running things like AdSense and affiliate ads and stuff like that, on average, publishers and bloggers earn about $1 to $1.30 for 1,000 impressions right now. Yep, that's it. That's it. You're going to be lucky to earn $1 for every 1,000 impressions on your website. You're going to need a boatload of traffic, which means you're going to need a massive audience, and you're going to need to rank highly in search engines in order to be successful at blogging, okay? But for the sake of, saving you from wasting thousands of hours of your time building a blog, And I'll tell you from experience, you're not going to make a living blogging today. Not with one blog. If you had several, that's possible, like 3 or 4, maybe 5. That then it's possible you could make a living, because you're going to need millions of hits a month. That's the harsh reality of the situation. All right, you can't just go and put up a blog. If you're getting 10,000 visitors a day, that's like $10. Maybe even $20. Let's say you got 10,000 visitors and they had 2 page views apiece. Ooh, wow! So that's 20,000 views. Okay, so you just made $20. Let's face it, you're not going to pay your rent with that. That's not even going to pay your car insurance. You could even fill your gas tank with that. All right, you're not going to feed your family with that. All right. So, yeah, back a decade ago, back in like 2006, 2007, 2008 range, bloggers typically did make like $8 or $10 for 1,000 impressions. Those days are over, and that's because of this, the massive global economic decline. People, advertising on the internet is basically driven by competition in the marketplace. Okay, the less competition there is, the less the ads cost, the less you're going to earn from them when they convert. Okay, it's basically, yeah, the ad marketplace is an auction. Okay, it's basically an auction marketplace where people bid on keywords. That's generally how it works. All right, and the less competition there is, the lower the cost of keywords, the lower the cost per measure for impression-based ads, the lower cost per click, etc. A lot of keywords are just worthless now, and trying to break that $1 mark for 1,000 impressions it's getting tougher and tougher to do. All right. Now, this doesn't mean you can't make any money on the web, but there's just a lot of misconceptions. Like, for one, back 4 years ago when I started blogging, people thought that it was all about building an audience. As long as you had an audience, you could just drive traffic to your site and just make a living. Nope, don't work like that. I've got communities with hundreds of thousands of people on Google+, and I can drive that traffic to any website I want, and guess what? It don't convert. It's not making me money. All right? And the fear. Let's get into the fear factor, okay? This is what really sucks, and this is what really killed my business. Yeah, the economy sucks. It's not good. It's a lot tougher to make money on the web. But if there's one thing that really, really, really hurt, my hopes, my dreams, and my business interests on the web, it was my fear of facing the world head on, okay? For one, I have been blogging for years. I've written probably over 500 articles online, and a lot of that was posted. It was published and then promoted through strategic social networking on Google+. And I'll be honest with you, over the course of the last 4 years, it has been years since I have stepped in front of a camera and the world has actually heard my voice. I have written article after article, and I'm very, very social online, but at the same time, I've had like this fear, this stigma that I just, I'm an introvert in real life, and I don't like negative criticism, okay? I hate it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want people to know who I am. I don't want to be the center of attention. I never wanted to be. But you know what? I had a wake-up call this year, and that's it. I can no longer pay my bills. I can't survive. I'm ready to step out of my shell and face the world head on and say, you know what? I don't care if people want to criticize my work. You can't make everybody happy. That's the reality of the situation. You can't. People are always going to argue your points. There's always somebody who's going to say, you know what, Daniel? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot. People are always going to criticize your work. Always. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong or what. People are always going to badmouth you. They're always going to criticize you. They're going to talk crap about what you produce. That's you know what? Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Okay. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared to face the world. You should be either. If people don't like what you have to offer, tell them, you know what, hit the road, Jack. Go somewhere else. Go to somebody else's blog. Go to somebody else's Google Plus community. I don't care. Write down, take a picture of it. For all I care. So fear is something that will really kill your purpose on the web. It's hard to break through that fear factor. It took me years, 4 years in fact. It took me until right now, there's like this last couple weeks before I finally said, you know what? I don't have time to fear anymore. I gotta pay the bills. I've got to break through this. I've got to get through this somehow. I've got to get myself to focus on the big picture here, and that's that at the end of the day, everything I built on the web is at risk of being destroyed, and I'm gonna end up homeless in the street if I don't get things under control. And that killed my element of fear. That really did. And all the health problems I've had, I can't. Like I said, I can't pay my bills. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. We could lose this home. I don't know. We're in massive debt. I've got all these medications I have to take. I have just from working 100 hours a week. That's another thing too. People get they feel so compelled to make it work, to make it happen, to succeed in your goals that, you're working 100 hours a week. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't work 18, 20 hours a day and work 100 hours a week, because all you're going to do is you're going to destroy the one thing that's most valuable to you, the most valuable thing you'll ever have in your life, and that is your health. Okay? And there's no amount of money that can equal that. They can equal, the value of what your health is. You don't want to end up in the situation I'm in right now. I have to take this sumatriptan medication 7 days a week for migraines. I wake up every day with a pounding migraine headache. My nervous system doesn't work. I have days where I wake up and I'm literally bedridden. I can't walk. I cannot talk. I can't move. I'm in horrible pain, and that's just the way it goes. I don't know. I could wake up tomorrow and I could just die in my sleep because my nervous system shuts down on me constantly. And it sucks. You don't want to end up in this situation. But if you're working too hard, you're just going to make yourself sick. And it's not worth it. And then now I'm stuck trying to come up with $60 every month to pay for all these medications that I have no insurance, that I can't afford. And if I end up in a hospital, I got no way to pay for that. Don't do it. I don't care how much, I know I can't pay my bills either. And, I don't know what I'm going to do either. But it's not worth killing yourself over. I'll tell you that, it's really not, so what do we do? What do we do to make our hopes, our dreams, our business interests work? How do we meet our goals? Let's face it, there's not a lot of work out there. If you go out and you try to get a job, you got people with bachelor's degrees working for, $9 or $10 an hour, working part-time. The benefits suck if you get any at all, and you're not going to be able to survive on that. And I get it. I totally get it. I couldn't either. Even if I found a job tomorrow, I know it's not going to pay the bills. It's not going to cut the bills. I'm in massive debt, and you guys are probably, a lot of you watching this right now are probably in the same boat I'm in. So what do we do? How do we make our business interests work? What does it take to build? What does it take to make money online? What does it take to build a business online? Okay, here's what it takes, okay? Number one, you need an audience, okay? Number two, you need to convert on an audience somehow, okay? You need a product or a service or something that you can convert into money, all right? But the problem is, there are so many products and services, and people have so many great ideas, and there's a lot of competition to sell various products and services on the web. And to be honest with you, because of our global economics, the state of our global economy right now, nobody's selling nothing. Nobody's buying nothing. Everybody's broke, okay? Look, last year, some of the largest and the oldest sellers, the oldest accounts on eBay shut their doors and called it quits. They said, you know what, man? I'm not doing $10,000 a month of revenue no more. I'm broke. I'm ready to call it quits. And they just closed their stores. It's tough, man. Nobody's making money. Look at the retail environment. Look at Sears. Sears has lost close to $600 million in less than 7 years. Yeah. Right now, Walmart is about the only brick and mortar retailer left that actually makes a profit. We have lost so many retail businesses in the United States. 100-year-old companies. Famous Bar was over 125 years old when they failed. They are gone forever. Okay? So it's tough, man. It's tough, and it's like we're all turning to the internet to try to survive. Oh, I'll just create a blog and I'll just throw ads all over. No, that's not going to work. I don't care if you have millions of people. I do too. I have them right now. I can just go into one of my communities in Google Plus that has 100, 200,000 people and just drive traffic to any website. You know what? It doesn't make a difference because I don't have a product or a service that I develop that people want. And developing your own products and services costs money. You have to have a game plan to make that work. And a lot of YouTubers are taking that route because the ad revenue of YouTube is not that great. They're selling their own products and services, okay? A lot of people are turning to Patreon. They're trying to get donations to help pick up for the shortfalls. For the most part, you can get supplementary income that way. Most channels are not going to get anything more than that, all right? So what do we do? What do we do? You know, how do we make a living online? Look at where the traffic is, because the ad revenue is so bad, okay, and it's so hard to convert on audiences right now because of the economy. You need a lot of traffic. So where should you be focused? YouTube. Make videos, do videos, okay? And I'll tell you why. They've got over 1.3 billion visitors a month, and God knows billions and billions of views every single month across the YouTube platform. And there are channels that are making money, okay? And then what you can do is take the YouTube channel like we did with Gamers Bay and tie it to a website, okay? So Gamers Bay, our gaming news organization, we have a channel for it on YouTube, and then we have a website that we link to from our channel homepage. And then what we did was we started hosting hundreds of games online for people to play for free. And then what we did was started making videos, let's play and gameplay reviews and so forth. And we use annotated links and cards to link back to the site. Likewise, we also drive traffic from the online game site back to YouTube and back to our other relevant social channels as well. So integration is kind of key here too, okay? Because like I said, you're going to need a lot of traffic if you want to make a living on the web. It's not a walk in the park. And you know, the fear factor, the unrealistic expectations, these are really important things, okay? You know, like I said, there's no fast buck on the web. The fear will kill everything, you know. And I'm going to note an article that Strategic Social, I'm going to talk about a few notes here from an article from one of Strategic Social Networking's moderators, Davina Najee, okay? And she wrote this article back several months ago, back in March the 28th, and it's called The Danger of the Overnight Success Story. And in this article, she states, the overnight success story effectively shits on hard work and undermines failures and lessons that lead to success. Man, no one could have ever said that better. It's so true. You know, let's face it, Apple Steve Jobs, he was not an overnight success. He was dirt poor, okay? He worked for Nolan Bushnell. He worked for Atari long before Apple was ever created, all right? The guy was practically homeless, all right? He was like living on a friend's couch for the longest time, all right? So yeah, you hear about all these big companies that were huge successes in their industries, and these bloggers were huge successes in their industries and so forth. They didn't get there overnight. They did this stuff for years before they became a success. Okay, it doesn't happen like that. Here's another quote from Davina's article, and this is from the actor Adrian Brody. Okay, and he says, quote, "My dad told me it takes 15 years to become an overnight success, and it took me 17 and a half years." There is no overnight success story. It's just not true. Okay, it's never going to happen. Give it up. It takes years to build an effective business model on the web or off. Okay. And you really have to look at the bigger picture, okay? You have to look at the bigger picture. Building a community on Google Plus. We have done this a million times, all right? You know, strategic social networking. I've got 120 whatever thousand members in there, and I can pin my articles at the top of the community, and I can get all the visibility I want. And at the end of the day, it ain't making me no money. My bills ain't getting paid, okay? And you know, I just want the public to be aware that this, you know, there's you know, this, you'll hit a fork in the road and you'll say, okay, I can do blogging, I can do e-commerce and this and that, and I'm just gonna make money. It's not gonna happen. All right, it's not gonna happen like that. But there are platforms you can focus on. There are platforms you can focus on, like YouTube. And if you have a lot of YouTube channels, what they do to make money is they produce their own products, their own services. They'll have t-shirts, branded t-shirts, hoodies. Some make shoes, hats, etc. that they sell to their audiences. Other ones turn to Patreon accounts to help produce, you know, it might only be like, you know, $200, $400, $600 a month of supplementary income they get from their Patreon accounts. But you know what? Every penny counts. And then you add that on top of their ad revenue. Now they're making a living. Okay, they might not be getting rich, but if they're making $3,500 a month, they still have a roof over their head. They can still feed their kids, and they can still pump gas in their car. Right? That's what really matters. Right? At the end of the day, is just surviving. But yeah, there is no quick path to success on the internet. There isn't. And I'm going to include a link to Davina's article. It's really great. This is a huge eye-opener, and she gives a lot of examples about people who were huge successes and how they did not get there overnight. It doesn't work like that. I'm going to put a link to the article, to The Danger of the Overnight Success Story, in the description of the video and in the post on Google+. You guys can check that out, and I definitely urge you to read that article. And I can really relate to the statement she made here, because I mean, this is like me in a nutshell. This is like this is like the story of my life, all right? Because I did the same thing. You know, I jumped on Google Plus back in late 2012 and said, you know, I'm gonna create a blog. I'm gonna build an audience. I'm gonna make money. And you know, when it was all over with, it was like, wow, I'm broke. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, in some cases, oh, here's another thing I really want to mention. This is really, really important. You know, if you want to make your ideas a reality on the web, you know, or just you want to make your goals, bring your goals to life, and you really want to make, you know, make your ideas a success. Build relationships with others on the web. You know, connect with other people that share similar interests. Work together for a common cause. Because I'll tell you what, if you try to go it alone, man, you're going to hit a dead end, and you're going to get nowhere. Okay, and I had in my mind early on that I was going to be able to do this all alone. It don't work like that. Okay, you got to have confidence. You really do, to make it on the web too. You've got to have confidence in yourself. And you got to have a sense of purpose, okay? You have to have a sense of direction, and if you don't, you're not going to make it. I've been very lucky. I have been very, very lucky. I've hit some really tough points in the past 4 years of building my media organization, where I'm like, man, you know, a couple people have stuck by me. Online and off, I've had a handful of people who just never left my side. I mean, I am so grateful. Davina Najee, the moderator that wrote that article that I mentioned. And Michael Haney and Brandon from Gamers Bay, and Joseph Solares, the co-founder of Strategic Social Networking. These people have stuck by me. They have not left my side, and I don't care if we made $100 million tomorrow and I was living in a house with a white picket fence. I don't care if I ended up homeless in the street and I died poor. I will never in a million years ever forget what these people did for me. I mean, they're just a breath of fresh air. It really does. Team up, connect with other people. And then that way, you know, I have my weak moments. I tell you what, I have my weak moments just like everybody else, where I've just broken down. I'm like, I don't know what to do. These people stuck by me, and I am just absolutely forever grateful for what you guys did for me. I mean, there's no words to describe it. There's really not. But we work together for a common cause. We all have a common goal here. And we all have today a positive outlook on the future that we're going to get through this together. And a number of us, I'm not alone, a number of those who support my media organization that are a very big part of things like Gamers Bay and Strategic Social Networking and PCTechAuthority.com. They too are suffering through financial hardships, or they have health problems and they have issues in life that they have to deal with every day. You know, we got to this year, and I said, you know, I give up. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop putting time and energy. I'm gonna stop investing into my media brands and my media organization. I can't do this anymore. I'm too sick. You know, I went January, February, March. My nervous system just went, psh, screw you, Daniel. You know, I honestly thought that was the end of the road. I thought I was gonna die beginning of this year. I was going to the neurologist like constantly, and he was trying all these different medications, doing, you know, all these tests. And they're like, man, I'm sorry, but there's not a whole lot we can do. And you know, they did what they could, and I got to the point where I couldn't even stay awake for more than 20 minutes at a time, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. It sucks. It sucks, man. I was ready just to call it quits. And you know, we get halfway through the year, and people like Davina and Michael, and they said, you know what, let's do something. Let's make this happen. Don't give up now. You know, they're like, you know, I have faith. They're like, you know, we gotta pay our bills too. We're trying to figure out what to do too. You know, and they put their weight behind me. They're standing with me. They put their weight behind me, and they have faith in what I do. I have ultimate faith in them. They're the most courageous people I could have ever met in my entire life. And hands down, I'm so lucky, you know, when things really got bad back in 2014, you know, God, Joseph Slayer is really, I mean, if it wasn't for him, I guarantee you, I would be out in the street right now. I'd be homeless. I wouldn't have a car. I would be eating dinner. I wouldn't have this cup of coffee to drink right now if it wasn't for that guy. He is stuck with me through the thick and the thin, and I'm so forever grateful for it. But you really should. The point of what I'm saying is that team up. Make it a team effort. Think about it. If you create a blog and you got 3 or 4 people blogging, now you can build it up faster. You can build an audience faster. If you build a community on Google Plus and you got brand pages and you got accounts on Twitter, now you got 4 or 5 people to help manage your brand. You know, if you have a YouTube channel, don't be the only one making videos. Like for Gamers Bay, we've got 4 people so far that have created videos for that channel. And 2 of us are working on it right now. You know, Gamers Bay is fully staffed. It has a whole bunch of moderators. Same thing with Strategic is fully staffed. And we work together for a common cause. Okay, we all share the same vision. And in order to make it work, we all chip in, we all make an effort to build this dream together and make it work. Because if it's just you just blogging or just creating videos, man, you're gonna get nowhere. You're gonna be working to death, and you're just gonna keep hitting one roadblock after another, and you're gonna get stuck in that rut. And I'm telling you what, it sucks. Okay. So the other thing too is that you really have to look at the reality that, you know, like I said, people don't just jump up overnight. And, you know, people don't, like, if you look at these huge gaming channels that are getting getting 7 million hits a month, or, you know, the parody channels and stuff on YouTube that have 1.5 million subscribers, some of those channels are like 8 or 10 years old. I mean, they were literally there before Google ever rolled out monetization to the platform, okay? It can take a long time to build an audience and to build a successful brand on the web, all right? It took us 4 years to get where we are now. We are in our 4th year. We're a little over 3.5 years. This is our 4th year on the web as a media organization. So it not only doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen in 6 months either. It doesn't happen in a year and a half. Nope. It takes years. That's why I'm making the recommendation that you team up with others. If you can get 5 or 10 people together, man, now you're playing with fire. Now you're pimping. Now you've really got a chance. I mean, you get 5 or 10 people producing videos on channels on YouTube, and you got websites that correspond with those channels. Don't put all your eggs in one basket either. That's another thing. Yeah, you can use AdSense for your website. You can use affiliate ads. Be creative. Think outside the box. What products can you develop that you can sell to your own audiences? Remember what I mentioned about YouTube. People, they have their own branded hoodies, sweatshirts, hats, and so forth. What services can you provide? I write about information technology. We're thinking about opening up, a brand building social media management service on the web. So the possibilities are endless, okay? But you need to build a team to make it work. Trying to go it alone, man, it's just one dead end after another. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Even today, I don't know. I think there's probably like close to 30 people that manage my media organization collectively, and even then, it's hard for me to keep up with all the stuff that I've created and we've co-created. We've worked together to build on the web. Even with that many people, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, you have things like Patreon. You have things like building your own creating your own products and services. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're gonna blog, have a couple different blogs. Have 2 or 3 different blogs. If you're gonna go the YouTube route, have 2 or 3 different channels. So, you could have a gaming channel. You could have a cooking channel. I don't know. You could do whatever you want. Whatever passion it is that you really have in life that you really want to share with others. Create a channel around it, create a blog, create a community on Google+, or join the communities, the groups on Facebook, the communities on Google+ that are really relevant to your cause. We have bloggers, man, we got bloggers in strategic social networking that have built huge audiences off of our community and that are well known to the community base, okay? They've been there for years. And when they post something, people are just going to share it. They're just going to read your content, and they're going to engage with it every single time. All right. So yeah, definitely check out Davina's article. It's a real eye opener. And when I first read it, I was like, wow, this is me. This is like the story of my life all over again. We read these stories about how somebody got rich overnight on the web, and it's all a lie. And I wish that were the case, but it's not, and don't kill yourself. Don't work 95 hours a week. I don't do that anymore. I know when to stop. I still work 7 days a week sometimes, but I don't work 16 hours at a time. I will put in 6 or 7 hours and I will quit, and I'll go play my Xbox or watch a movie or lay down and take a nap, eat breakfast, whatever the case is. It's not worth killing yourself over your hopes and your dreams. And it doesn't get you anywhere any faster to make yourself, if you're sick, if you get to the point where where I'm at now, where I destroyed my health, I ruined my health, and I'm sick all the time, well, how are you going to manage your business? How are you going to build your hopes and dreams when you're so sick that you're bedridden, you can't even move? That's not going to propel you along. Stick to a schedule, okay? I can easily handle 65 hours a week without hurting my health today. And I have been working about 70 hours, okay? I've been pushing a little bit this last couple months. But I can handle that. What I can't handle doing is doing 90 or 100 hours a week again. And that's what put me in this rut where I was just ended up sick all the time. I have my good days, my bad days now. Like I said, I got to take medication 7 days a week. I have no money to pay for them. Luckily, I've got, a few friends that help out. But anyways, if it was so easy to make money on the web, then why am I so broke? Okay, I got millions of people who read my articles. I have millions of people in my communities and elsewhere on the web. I'm not making any money from it. There's no money. So, but we've turned a new leaf. We've turned a new leaf this year, this last few months, and I have great support from these friends that built on the web, and we're working together for a common cause, you know. And we built, we've monetized. For instance, we've monetized. Well, we have like 10 or 11 different YouTube channels. So far, I think we've monetized 4 of them. We've monetized 4 channels, and then we've monetized, of course, my information technology website, pctechauthority.com. We monetized that as well. And so collectively, we're hoping that we're going to be able to actually make, you know, meet a realistic target, which is like, you know, $3,000 or $4,000 a month. I know that's not much, right? That's not much, but that's what we're hoping for to start with. Another option we have too that we're looking at, and this is something you could think about too, is building brands to sell them. For one, we own a travel photography brand on Google+. We own a community there, and we have a website and stuff like that that's connected with it and all that. And we're thinking about selling that entire brand with its audience and everything. So there's options out there. You can get creative, all right? Now, here's something you need to understand, all right? You can't just build an audience on social media and sell your Facebook brand page or your Google Plus community, and different platforms have different rules, okay? Facebook pretty much says, yeah, you can transfer the ownership of a page, that's fine. Google pretty much says your community and your brand page is yours to do what you want with. We don't care what you do with it, as long as it's within the constraints of our guidelines of our Google Plus platform. Okay, so you have options there. Now there's legal implications too. Basically, the law states you can't just sell social properties. Okay, you can sell them collectively if they're part of a brand, of an actual business. Okay, let's say you have a website, and that website is part of a business, and your Facebook brand page or your Google Plus community or your Facebook group is somehow connected to that brand. Now you can include that in that package when you sell it legally, okay? And there's options to sell domains and stuff like that, like flipit.com. So if you have a strong audience on social media and you have a relevant domain connected to it and it's considered a business, in most cases you can sell it. Now, there are some caveats, like for instance, platforms like Pinterest say you cannot transfer an account ever for any reason. Doesn't matter if you sell the brand, you cannot transfer a Pinterest account. And in most cases, if they find out that you did, they will kill the entire account. I know I seem totally unfair, and that's why I don't put too much effort into Pinterest. All right. But yeah, there are options to work with. Don't kill yourself. Don't make yourself sick. Don't believe all the lies from all these no-name fake affiliate bloggers on the web that will tell you they're making $1 million a year. Okay, number one, if all these affiliate marketers were making so much money off of their efforts on the web, then how come, you ever notice when you read through the article they have links to ads everywhere? To affiliate ads at that. It's not AdSense. They're trying to sell you products. Okay, you get to the end of the article and they're like, well, and they'll endorse some product or service they've never even tried themselves. Okay, they're not trying to provide you with valuable information. They're trying to get you to spend your money so they can get a cut of the revenue from the affiliate ads. Okay, they're hoping you're going to click through that ad to that product on Amazon and buy it. They're not making money. If they were making money, why are they begging you to buy products and services? People who are selling products and services that others want don't have to beg an audience to click through and make a purchase. That's not how it works, okay? A lot of fakes. Some of the biggest bloggers in the industry are fakes, all right? It's like all the fake influencers who tell you that they know everything about SEO and web publishing, and they know everything about social media. They're social media ninjas and SEO gurus, and they're not, okay? And that's another subject too. You have to be really careful about what you write about. What are you going to blog about? If you're going to start a YouTube channel, you know, what subjects are you going to cover? Okay, yeah, it might be something that really interests you, but is there an audience for it, and how big is that audience? Like gaming channels, man, video games are super popular. Okay, let's play videos on YouTube are still super popular today. You can get monster traffic if you do the right types of game reviews, let's play videos, stuff like that. You can get monster traffic. Cooking channels are extremely popular on YouTube. Parody channels, stuff like that, are extremely popular. There's a lot of different subjects you can cover on YouTube or on a blog, and it will drive a lot of traffic. But it has to be something that interests a large audience, because you're going to need a lot of traffic no matter what product or service you develop or sell, or what affiliate ads you run, or you know what type of channel you produce. You're gonna need a lot of traffic. And if you're covering a subject that doesn't have a large audience, you're gonna end up cutting yourself short of the revenue you need to make a living. So you don't want to end up in that. Like I said, you know, gaming is a real big one to this day. It's probably always going to be. For websites, I generally, you know, have been writing about information technology. And I'll tell you what, that industry is losing steam on many levels. It's gaining steam in some areas, it's losing steam in most of them. And I'll tell you why. Because there's no money on the web. Bloggers are not making money. The IT industry is in the United States is kind of like on its deathbed right now. It's suffocating. It's dying. All right. Microsoft laid off over 20,000 employees in the last year and a half. There's people aren't getting jobs in IT. ITT Tech went bankrupt because of how many students they had that were defaulting on their student loans. All right. There's no money in IT. There's not much money in it. All right. There's pockets. But you have this many people trying to, make a living off the IT industry, and there's this many jobs. Okay, there's this much money to be had. It's tough. So yeah, those $65,000, $85,000 a year development jobs are still out there, but they're few and far between. Okay, like I said, media does not pay what it used to. You're not going to make a living off of that, which is creating one blog. And you don't want to end up in the same situation I'm in now, right? I wrote 500 articles. Make me a few bucks every month. Okay, you can get a few hundred thousand views, and you're making $25, $30. All right, you don't want that. Oh great, you can order pizza once a month. You can make enough money to order pizza and fill your gas tank. Obviously, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So, anyways, for those who have not checked out Strategic Social Networking's community on Google+, definitely check out the community. Join, follow our brand page, like and subscribe to this video to keep up with our future updates, and check out Davina's article. And until next time, many thanks for watching and have a good one.